Pagan Shooter here. We've got a day where it is not 150 degrees or feels like it's next to the sun, so I brought out the Rossi to shoot. Now, to be honest, I have brought the Rossi out since I did the unboxing and display of it, and however, I did not bring out my camera. Reason is I'm kind of a video shooting ween. I don't like doing it in front of other people. So there was a lot of other people when I did go shooting last. However, I did go through my entire slop bucket with this. Slop bucket being just loose 22. I had a couple hundred in there and went through all of them, and it performed wonderfully. Now, I do carry it with 30 rounds. It is a single action, not a reason to have a huge amount. I have this mostly for a emergency, you know, if I go camping or if I'm out and about in out on public lands. I've got an emergency weapon in case something happens, if I need to go hunting, whatever. So, and this is an old lens case that my wife gave me, and it carries quite a bit of 410 shotgun shells. This would be what I'm out here to shoot today. It would be the Rossi matched pair with the 410 shotgun barrel and the 22 short barrel. I believe what I'll be doing is putting together the 22 first, and I'll show you how that shoots. I've brought out a couple different types of ammo. I've got the powderless Agula, which is the quiet, and I've also got some just standard copper 22, with basically high velocity. I've also got some standard velocity, which I'll probably throw through it. This is a high velocity. I believe these are Federal rounds in my carry case, but they're pretty standard. This is some of what I was putting through it last time. It all works really well. I'll go ahead and get this together. I think you've all seen how this works, and we'll go ahead and start shooting it. And I'll give you a display of how that works, and then we'll go to the 410. Be right back. All right, so I've got the 22 put together, and let's go ahead and get it loaded up with some quiet. You'll notice I'm not wearing any ear protection, and let's go ahead and get this firing here. The safety is now off, camera is back, and you'll notice it's excessively quiet. The ejector, extremely well at throwing. By the way, I do pick up my brass when I'm done. I don't believe we should be leaving 22 shells out here. Very, very quiet. Extremely quiet. In fact, I hear the firing mechanisms more than I'm hearing the round go off. So that's with the Agula quiet. I've got some Agula hyper velocity that I'm going to go ahead and give it a try as well and show you how that sounds. I will put my hearing protection on for that, just because this is a really short barrel 22, and I like to be able to hear later in life. I'll be right back. Okay, so you'll notice I have my cans on. I don't have my inserts. I'm not sure where they went. They may be in my other range bag. This is the Agula Hypervelocity, and let's give it a shot. Bit more kick, definitely louder. Nothing to really write home about as far as loud. Trigger on this is really smooth. It's not a sniper rifle smooth, but it definitely does the trick. It is pretty accurate. I mean, I really haven't taken the time to adjust the sights in. However, I seem to be able to group it pretty smooth, pretty small. Not Once again, I'm not a sniper. I enjoy plinking, but pretty close. So, all in all, the 22, very smooth, very good. Definitely worth having. I'm going to go ahead and switch out to the 410 barrel, and we'll give you a demonstration of what that's like to shoot. And I'll throw in a little more information about it. We'll be right back. So we're back with the 410 barrel on. I've got some Remington 6-shot 2.5 inch shells. And one thing of note, the 410 barrel actually fits much better. What I mean by that is when you're screwing the bottom nut on, the 410 barrel actually screws on much better than the 22. The 22 is a little more difficult to put on. Now you'll notice I took the rings off, or the loops off. This one's actually a replacement one that has the removable stud. The removable stud doesn't fit on the front one, so I'm thinking I might put a knob on here to make it easier to turn on and off. The back one I'm probably just going to put a regular loop on and then do a single point harness so it's easier to carry like this. Otherwise, I don't see much need for a harness on it. It's really light, which is also a negative because the 410 shells actually kick quite a bit in this thing because it's so light. Let's go ahead and shoot one, and I'll show you what I mean. So once again, this is the 2.5 shell, a 2.5 inch shell, number 6 shot. Let's go ahead and shoot it. Now you'll see that kicked quite a bit. Shells eject very well. I'm going to go ahead and put these in this pocket. Once again, shell ejected very well. The barrel is already very hot, or is already warm, I should say. And it's 70 degrees out here today, so this being a cooler day, the barrel gets really hot real quick. Probably by the 4th round shell, it'll be a little hot to touch. And it's already disrupting the view of the bead with the heat waves coming off of it, so plus or minus, I mean, it's more of an emergency gun. I wouldn't take this thing out skeet shooting or really shooting a couple hundred rounds through it. I don't know if it's really made for that. But that's 4 shells. Does fire every time. It's pretty accurate with the bead. I mean, it does shoot pretty good. It kicks pretty good. I'm thinking a butt plate, which they actually make a pad for this, would probably make it a little less sharp on your shoulder. Other than that, it's a pretty decent shotgun. Like I said, it's not really going to be something that you're going to take out skeet shooting or on a regular hunting trip maybe, but as far as an emergency gun, it works pretty decent. You'll take down small game with it. With a slug, you can probably take down even larger game. I would probably put a well, it doesn't have, it's not, this one's not tapped for a sight of any kind, but they do have larger pieces that you can put on the front for the bead. That might take it out of the heat wave area and might make it a little bit easier to shoot longer distances. As far as the 22, it's pretty decent. The 22 actually is pretty accurate. It's tapped for a rail. You could easily put a scope on it. You could easily put a red dot on it. I don't know if I'll probably be doing that because then it won't fit in the bag. But otherwise, it's a pretty decent rifle. I would definitely suggest it, and it's all good.